Hello, in today's video I'm going to be making some mini quiches. Now these are cheat quiches because you're not actually going to use any pastry. They're just quick and simple. I'm going to make them in real time. Instead of pastry, we're going to use some bread. Now it's really good because you put egg onto the bread. You don't want it to become soggy, so it's either good to use frozen bread or bread that you've lightly toasted, so it's a bit drier than regular bread. And next you need to get some butter, and then what we're going to do is put it all over our bread, and that is so that it doesn't stick, as well as making it lovely and buttery. It won't stick to the bottom of the cupcake tray that we're going to make our mini quiches in. So there we go, I just buttered one, and I'm gonna go for the second one. The smaller you make these, if you've got a really small cupcake tray, I think the better, because you can get more circles out of a slice of bread. I'm making 6 quiches today. You could double the ingredients for more. And now what I'm going to do is cut circles out to put in the bottom of my tray. So you might have a cookie cutter. You should make sure that whatever the size of the circle is, it's bigger, a little bit bigger than your circle in your cupcake tray. So I'm gonna get 2 out of each slice of bread, hopefully. That is my aim. Just rip it out. Okay, just tear it, there we go. So that's one circle there, and then I'm gonna press it in the bottom of my tray, and you'll see that it goes up and around the edges, more or less. It doesn't matter if it doesn't go to the top because the egg will take the place. And press it in really firmly. The firmer you press it, the better, because otherwise the egg will get into all the gaps and it will kind of turn into a soggy quiche. So really press it, flatten it. A good way to do it actually as well is, if you want to, you could flatten your bread with a rolling pin so that it's much flatter in the first place. There we go. I'm going to go for my second circle, and it doesn't matter if it's not exact. And then again I'm going to press it in. It's probably best actually to do the rolling pin on the bread first. When you put it in your cupcake tray as well, make sure it's butter side down, because it's the butter that's going to stop it sticking to the tray. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing this. I said that I'm doing this in real time, so I hope this isn't going to be boring you too much. Usually my other son comes in when I'm cooking and distracts me and entertains and tells jokes and stuff, but he doesn't appear to be. Anyone know any good jokes?
I don't know.
See, it's not happening today. Okay, so once again, flatten it down. Rolling pin is a good idea for that. In it goes. So to make 6, you'll need 3 slices of bread, because you can get 2 circles out of each slice of bread. I'm going to maybe make 2 that are crustless quiches, which means no bread involved. So I'm only going to use 2 slices of bread to make mine. And then my third circle, fourth, I can't count. And then I'm just going to eat the rest of the bread. I don't want to waste it. That's not what we do. I wonder actually, I'm going to press it in. I wonder if I could use my crusts actually to get another quiche out of it. Might give it a go, see how we go. Because we don't like wasting stuff. Really smush it around the edges. Look, they're not exact circles, but they're more or less the right vibe. You can use white bread, brown bread, whatever bread you've got kicking around. Okay, now I'm going to try my makeshift one. I'm literally going to squish this bread in with all the bits that are left over, and then trim it off around the edges. And once again, squashing your bread so flat that there's no air pockets going on. There we are. Right, so if you want to see, I'm going to make one crustless quiche now, and the rest are going to have a crust. So that's the one that I made out of my leftover bits and pieces. So you'll notice there's bits sticking out. So just rip off any bits that are excess to requirement, so it's more circular. There we go, and there's another bit there, and there we are. So now I'm going to see actually if I can not do a crustless quiche, just get them all in there. Let's try another one out of the dregs, and then I'm really being efficient and not wasting anything. Right, let's give it a go. So once you've done that, I'm just still going on it. There we are. You're ready to put your egg mixture into the mix. Okay, remember, the flatter the bread, the better. Rolling pin it if you've got a rolling pin handy, and make it really flat and squashed up bread. So there we go, my 6 quiche cases, and now I'm ready to do the next part. So now we are going to put some onion and cheese onto our cases. So you need to grate half an onion, a smallish onion, and the smaller the bits of onion the better, because obviously we want them to cook through. And then I'm using mature cheese because I think it's great to have more flavour, and mature cheese is stronger, of course, and I need a grater. So, where's the grater? Right, so I'm going to grate about half a cup's worth of cheese. But, you know, I really like my quiche cheesy. You could put more or less depending on what you're going for. I find that cheese that's mature cheese tastes really good with red grape in quiche. I cut little pieces of red grape, but you know, whatever you fancy, whatever floats your boat. Lots of people like Stilton and broccoli. It's really good to get your kids into loads of good strong flavours while they're young. So I'm going to keep going till I've got half a cup's worth, more or less. Should I bore you with this? I said I'm doing it in real time, but I don't want you to feel that I'm just grating cheese for half the video, so maybe I'll pause it here. Okay, I reckon this is probably about half a cup's worth. Let me just check. Oh yeah, that's about right. So there, I've got half a cup of grated cheese in there. And then also you need to put your grated onion in now. So this is a bit of grated onion. You could use a small onion. Onion might not cook very well in the time unless it's in very small pieces, which is why it's grated. And now I'm going to sprinkle the cheese into my cases, and then I'm gonna also put my onion in as well. Now mine cupcake tray is quite shallow. A muffin tray might be a lot better, because obviously you want to have room for it all to go in. Okay, so I've got my cheese in. I'm going to put my onion in now. That's a big chunk of cheese that got through the net. So sprinkle a bit of onion into each one as well. Once again, a strong flavour. So I've got my mature cheese and my onion. And next, I am going to pour in, once I've made it, our egg mix on the top of everything. So there we go. I fear that these are really shallow, so there's not much room for my egg mix, but if that's the case, I'm going to make some crustless quiches in the remaining gaps. So now we need to get a bowl, a medium-sized bowl, and we're going to add in our milk. So half a cup if you are making 6 mini quiches, a whole cup obviously. If you're making more, in it goes. Then I'm going to put 2 eggs in. One egg, in it goes. Oh my gosh, I hope I didn't get any shell in. I couldn't quite tell whether some went in or not. Second, there we go. Second egg is in. So we get all of it in. Don't want to be wasting anything in these times of lockdown. I'm going to give it a whisk around with a fork, if I can find a fork. Here we go, here's a fork. Just quickly looking in case, no, there's no shell in there. Phew, that would have been a disaster. Okay, so give it a good old whisk around, and then you need to add, for a bit of flavour, half a teaspoon of mustard. Right, so half a teaspoon of mustard. Quiches can be quite bland, and I like flavour. Who wants a bland quiche? So mustard helps add flavour. Obviously children often don't want things too sort of spicy or whatever, so it's not like I'm going to put chilli or anything in my quiche. So give it a good swizzle about, get all that mustard in. Mine's clinging to the sides of the bowl. And then I'm going to add a pinch of black pepper. There we go. In it goes, and then give it a good old mix round again. And then that is ready to be poured on top of your cases. Let me just show you an overhead view of our egg mixture. There we go, it's kind of golden and yummy looking, which is good news. Give it an extra whisk. And now, before I put it in, I could leave this as mature cheese and red onion quiche, because my onion was red onion, but you can use any onion. Or you can jazz it up and have some great experimentation with different flavours. So here's some good suggestions for you as preferred quiche flavours of mine. Now, lots of people don't eat meat, so I'm only going to be suggesting vegetarian options. Number one suggestion, this is quite a posh suggestion, blue cheese, only because this was knocking about, and red grape, or black grape actually in this case, is a really, really good combination. Black grape also works well with mature cheddar or red grape, but I don't have any red grapes, so I'm using black grapes. And just cut the grape up into tiny, small pieces. Now, obviously, if you're using a knife, as I always say, get some help with a grown-up if it's a sharp one. So I've just got tiny little grape pieces here, and I'm actually going to add those into a couple of my quiches because they'll go really well with the mature cheese. I'll just show you. I've just popped them in these two here. Number two suggestion is cheese and tomato. I love cheese and tomato. It's a classic, but it's really good. Once again, I'm chopping it into small pieces. Depending on how big your quiches are, you can play as well with the measurements. Like I said, if you want to make 12, just double the measurements. So I'm going to put some tomato into a couple of my quiches. There we go. My hands have been washed, of course, for 2 happy birthdays. Let's get some tomato in a couple of them. I'm making different flavours so that my kids can choose which ones they like the best. Another good thing that you can put in really easily is sweet corn, and sweet corn goes quite well with tomato. So I'm going to put sweet corn in one of my cheese and tomato options. And then also in at number 4, are we at number 4? I think so. Peas. Peas are a real favourite of my youngest son, so these are getting quite colourful now. There we go, loads of different options on the go. Spinach also goes well with cheese, so that's another good suggestion. I love a bit of spinach with mature cheddar, and obviously greenery is healthy, so that's good. So I'm gonna now put some spinach in one of mine. Broccoli's another good one. You could, if you've got a bit of broccoli knocking about. Make sure that you chop it into really small pieces. That's the key, because you want it to cook. If you've noticed, everything that I've put in my quiches is all cut into teeny weeny bits so that it cooks and is tasty to eat. Okay, so now I'm ready to pour on my mixture. Now, like I said to you, I only had a really shallow cake tin knocking about. So what I'm going to do, if I've got leftovers, I'm going to make some crustless quiches in the empty gaps. Right, so I'm ready to pour. Now this bit can be tricky and it can be messy, so I'm going to do it with the help of a tablespoon so that it's not too chaotic. And in it goes. Here we are. I feel like I'm ladling out goodies to people. Number 2. Ooh. Don't want it to spill out too much out the edges. There we go. So they're filling up nicely now, and I've got some excess gaps because it's quite a shallow tin that I'm using. So I'm going to make a few crustless quiches extra. Here we go. And then I'm nearly ready to pop it in the oven. So let me show you what we're looking at. Hey, up you come. There we go. Those ones at the end are the crustless ones. So I'm just going to put a bit of flavour in them. Some cheese and other bits and pieces. Now, your oven needs to be preheated to 370 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 190 degrees Celsius. Okay, so I've preheated my oven, so I shall pop them in. I'll give you a final look at what we're dealing with here. Can you see that? I can't quite see your view, but hopefully you saw them there. So as always, when you're dealing with an oven, get a grown-up's help because it's really hot, and oven gloves are the order of the day. I've got 2 unmatching ones here. But hey, who cares about fashion in these circumstances? So, in it's going into the oven. Take care when you're carrying it as well. You want to be carrying it level when it goes in the oven, because otherwise it all starts dripping everywhere. So leave that in the oven for 20 minutes, and now it's a waiting game. So my oven timer has got about 10 seconds to go. So I'm gonna get ready with my oven gloves to get them out. This is the moment of truth. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Turn off. Whoa, they're piping hot. Some of them have actually risen a bit, like a souffle. Let me give you a bit of a glimpse. So I'm just showing you what they look like from top view. As you can see, these 2 have sort of risen a bit. Okay, so Huxley's going to have a taste of this.
I could already see there's tomato.
Okay, have a bite and see what you reckon. Do you like it? Okay, now I'm going to give Kobe his one. See if you can guess what's in it. Any ideas? Have a taste, have a bite and see.
Are those capers?
Not capers, but good guess. They do look like capers. Have an eat.
They might actually be
peas. Is it
peas.
yummy? Okay, so my taste testers are digging in. Do you want another one?
Yeah.
You've polished quite a few off between you. I made 9 in total, so that's 6 gone. So I'm going to try one now. Very nice indeed. It would make a really good like hors d'oeuvre or snack at a sort of finger food party or buffet. Happy quiche making.